Hi everyone. So my brain's just going into one. Obviously, I like to think a lot. Having a certain mental illness, it tends to come with the territory. Gone through what I've gone through, it comes with the territory too. Because I've always had to try and work things out for myself because nobody will tell me the truth. Very confusing times, you know. My brain's become very analytic. Analytic. Yeah. It likes to analyse things. And 9 times out of 10 it comes out with quite a good answer for, you know, what it's been through. Connecting the dots, fitting the puzzle pieces, you know. I've come to a time in my life now where, yeah, all those little bits and bobs of knowledge that I've gained, thoughts and feelings and intuition, facts, you know, they've all pieced themselves together and come up with the truth, you know, what reality really is. It's like I had to find out about my illness when I got diagnosed, you know. I mean, all I knew, it was a chemical imbalance in the brain. And that's what I was told. And I got some tablets and they were supposed to make me feel better, which they didn't. They just balanced that chemical imbalance, you know. That's all it did. It was really strange as well because the things that used to make me laugh, I wouldn't laugh at. And the things that used to make me cry, I wouldn't cry at. But I still felt depressed and trapped and so many negative feelings and thoughts and everything. So yeah, I just knew that there was something more to what I was being told, and the stigma behind mental illness. You know, I was made out to be the crazy one. It was all my fault, you know. It was because I was crazy, I was making these bad life decisions and, you know, doing all these bad things. And I couldn't understand why I was doing it all. And it's actually only recently occurred properly, you know, it sank in that it was actually my upbringing that programmed me to be crazy. To have a mental illness. It was how I was raised. It was how I was taught to behave. I had no other understanding of not to be the way I was, not to do the things that I was doing, even though I know a lot of it was just all based on manipulation. But there again, it was all used to program me to be susceptible to manipulation, to be accepting to abuse, to believe that abuse was love, that narcissistic behaviour was how every family was, and, you know, that every sort of older brother abused the younger sister, or that every mother kept the secret that she wasn't your mother, she was your gran, and the woman you've been calling nasty names or thought was actually called Fat Cow, and your older sister is actually your mum. You know, go and sort your head out, Kaz. You know, that's what my family say. You know, you're fucked up in the head, you're crazy, you know. But that's how they made me be. They moulded my brain to be like that. Because their brains have been moulded to do that. You know, I can't blame them for what they've done to me because of how their brain works. You know, that's how their brain's been moulded to be by their experiences as they've grown up. And it's passed on from generation to generation, you know. Behavioural problems, toxic ways of behaving that create toxic ways of behaving, you know. I was taught how to fail, taught how to be a victim, taught to think that I had no worth to have anything more than being a victim, being somebody's toy, being somebody's punch bag, being somebody's way of feeling better about themselves by making me feel like shit, you know? But that's how they was taught. By their parents and their family and all their experiences. So when it comes to being diagnosed with a mental illness, you've got to think, okay, yeah, there's genetic reasons, but there's also taught reasons. You know, because everything, you know, every animal that's born learns from its parents. It learns how to walk, it learns how to fly, it learns how to feed itself, it learns how to survive, you know. So when you've got a family there that doesn't teach you how to survive, how to fend for yourself in a human way, like humans should do, how to be able to recognise when someone's using you, how to recognise when you're being manipulated, how to recognise when you're safe, how to recognise when you're in danger, you know, how to recognise when to be angry, how to recognise when you're supposed to be defending yourself, when you're supposed to be running away, when you're supposed to be running for help, when you're supposed to be saying no. If you're not taught that, you're not going to do that, are you? I never did. You know, all these things that I wasn't taught, I've had to learn myself. How to find my self-respect, how to find my self-worth, how to find healing. Outside of my family's opinion, my family's reasoning for why I had these problems. I had to understand that my brain's been set up to fail in a certain way. I've been set up to react to certain things in a certain way, beyond my control. You know, it's what I was taught from my caregivers. This is why it's so important that from an early age, people need to get the right care, the right mental input, you know, the right nurturing surroundings, the right nurturing family. But this needs to be learnt by everyone, really, to stop this perpetual cycle of toxic upbringing, mental illness that doesn't need to be there, because mine certainly didn't need to be there. I've proven that to myself over and over and over again these last few years, that the reason that I had mental illness was because of the people around me and what they taught me to be like. It dictated every single option in my life, every single decision, and it was all based on fear. Why I enabled it to go on, but I didn't know that because I didn't have the understanding, and until I learnt that, I couldn't change it, you know. And until you know who you are and look at your environment that you've grown up in and the people around you, even in everyday life now, you've got to look at the people around you. How are they manipulating how you think, how you act, what's the end result, you know, who's it benefiting, who's it hurting, who's it taken away from, who's it destroying, you know. We need to have a different way of thinking towards how we nurture the next generation, the next generation of newborns, you know. There needs to be that nurturing structure there for there to be any change across the human race. Well, this is my belief anyway. You know, so many mental illnesses that stop people from doing things. Crime's going up, the prisons are full, hospitals for mental illness. So many more people are actually being diagnosed and suffering, or even just swept under the carpet with their mental illness, forgotten, left. And you see them on the streets, homeless. There's always a reason behind it, even if it's voluntary. You know, there's a reason for them not wanting to go home or to have a home and have somewhere safe. You know, it's, you know, do they feel imprisoned? Being at home, you know, is that just a society thing that I want to be free, which is a natural instinct. You don't see animals imprisoning other animals, you know, and making them conform to God knows how many hours of work to pay so much to these fat cats and people in charge, which seem to be focused on keeping us in a state of what I've been through my life: abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, self-blame. It's not the people that are running the thing, the earth, that's a problem. Apparently it's the people that they serve, you know, that are the cause. No, it's not. We're not the ones to blame. And in a way they're not to blame either, because it's the way that they've been taught to be. It's how their brain functions at the end of the day. It's how they think it's okay to behave, because they don't know any different. And even if they do, they don't act on it. But that's how their brain's been made to be. I mean, I've been able to change my brain through learning a different way to think from the way I used to think. It's helped my life so much, it's helped me so much to grow. You know, is it possible for all these fucking narcissists to actually switch their thinking? Because they've been taught wrong. Their brains have been taught to function completely different from mine, for completely different reasons, selfish reasons. There's got to be some way that we need to teach the next generations how to think properly and make it part of some sort of structure, you know, mandatory structure. Like we all know about eating too much sugar and gaining too much weight and what it causes, all the problems there. We need to focus on the mental health side of things, because it is how society runs. At the end of the day, if everybody's suffering mental illness, society's going to fall apart, you know, which it is doing, you know. We're not evolving into something better. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And the mentality behind it all is the cause. In my opinion, you know, these are only my thoughts and opinions, but it's my observations of my own experiences and of the abuse, and I can see it on the wider scale. something that's classed as domestic violence, narcissistic behaviour, psychopathic behaviour. We're putting people in charge of our lives that are showing those signs. You know, they haven't got the ability. Nobody's taught them to care for somebody else. Like, I've got the ability to care for everyone. You know, I put everyone else first before myself. That's how I've been made to think and to act. Obviously I'm getting a balance of it now, you know. I actually put myself first before anything else at the moment, because I have to, you know. Well, obviously if certain things I'll have to if they arise, but you know, majority of stuff I will put myself first. Which I was never taught to do. I was never taught to put myself anywhere really, other than at the bottom piece of shit on the floor. Yeah, nowhere above that at all. That wasn't my place. And until I learned different, my life stayed the same. Bad decisions, going nowhere, taking it out on myself, and nearly ending up 6 feet under. Just because I didn't know how to get out of it, couldn't understand it. But when you know what's going on, when you can understand what's going on, then you can make the right decisions, make the right choices. But I had that choice taken away until I learnt better. So yeah, as far as healing and the world and keeping things as getting better instead of getting worse. You know, if we want to heal this world, we're going to have to heal the way we bring up our children, the way that they are taught to think, so they can make the right choices through life and actually be a contribution for this earth, you know, instead of being a drain, so-called drain on society, turning into a thug or, you know, whatever, you know. They are our future. And the only way that they can be helpful to the future is to have a healthy way of thinking. And it needs to continue in the new generations over however many millennia, you know. New way of thinking, new way of nurturing our children, making it a necessity, not an option. You know, there's so many kids that still now go through so much neglect. I was a witness to it last year. And just on a personal level, like, you know, and it really is horrible to see an innocent mind being destroyed by somebody's mind who's destroyed, that's destroyed through an upbringing that made them be like that. It seems so simple, really, doesn't it? You know, if you look at it, the cause and effect. You know, there's always a reason for something. There's a reason why somebody's fucked in the head. There's a reason why somebody can't cope. There's a reason why somebody's depressed. There's a reason why somebody's suicidal. There's a reason why somebody's angry. There's a reason why somebody is selfish. There's a reason why somebody's brain doesn't work properly to fit society as it should do. There's a reason why I think we're kept in this state as well. It's easier for us to be manipulated. It's psychological warfare, divide and conquer. You know, they've been doing that for hundreds of years through the wars and that, haven't they? For thousands of years even. Now they've got it all going, and it's psychological. And the only way to stop it is to have a new way of thinking, a new way of being, a new way to move forward, you know, or else it's just going to stay as it is. It's like being in any toxic relationship. You either stay and let it happen, and it just gets worse and worse and worse, nothing gets better, and the only one that pays the price at the end of the day is you. Or you take a stand, you help humanity grow as it should do, you know, and we find a way to get all this moving forward in a better way. So yeah, there we go. I've waffled on for enough now. Yeah, my brain just wanted to get that one out. It's been bugging me lately because it really is just the same perpetual cycle. And when you look at it for what it is, we need to be teaching our children how to think properly. We need to be teaching everybody how to think properly, not from a tortured mind of somebody else's, some generation, other generation of toxicity or whatever, you know, passed on to the next generation. It's got to stop. Anyway, thank you very much. If you actually sort of like believe in what I'm saying, it'd be nice to have a little comment on your thoughts of mass manipulation through mental illness and stuff like that. I mean, they do say people with mental illness have sort of like a, is it conspiracy theorist type brain? But yeah, some theories actually turn out to be true, especially when it comes to my life. Some things that I've worked out have turned out to be absolutely spot on. But that's using facts, which is what I always use, and my own experiences. Thoughts and feelings and actions, you know. Not everybody likes to talk about them, you know, through fear of somebody laughing or, you know, making fun, taking the piss, whatever. I don't care. I really don't care anymore, you know. I've had so much thrown at me, I've had so much said about me, which is so untrue, and I've figured out who I am. And I know I'm a decent person, and I know the reason why my head was fucked up. I've done the research and I've done the work and I've done the experiments, and the final outcome is that my brain's healed, or healing. I won't say it's totally healed, but yeah, compared to what it was, it's functioning as it should do, not as it was programmed by my family. So yeah, brainwashing. We need to do some good brainwashing across the whole of the earth and across the next generations. It's got to be something that needs to be done seriously, or else it's just going to carry on. There we go. I fixed everybody's problems. Yay! Sorry, I'm going to leave you alone now. Anyway, sending you lots of love. Thank you very much for watching my videos and listening to my opinions and thoughts, and facts. And thank you for coming on my journey. Sending you lots of love, and I hope you all heal. Bye bye.